or 35,000 last year to buy 1 bag of rice. And January this year, she came and told you to bring 80,000. You started quarreling. This is why. This is why. So, because we are doing livelihood, we are doing women empowerment also. So, this is what happened. It grew, the price of rice grew between March 2023 to March 2024 by 134.81%. So that's why your bag of rice, for those of us that just thought that the market woman and wish, it just increased price. No, it's not the market woman that did it. Right? If you look at beans, the same thing. If you look at Gary, 109%. Yam. So this is why all of us must take agriculture seriously. So even if you are making 1 million per month or 2 million per month, this is what happened to you. If you are receiving 50,000 per month, it's the same thing that happened to all of us. Nobody escaped it. If you escaped it, let me see your hand. You say, this thing, I still buy rice 25,000 per bag, or I still buy rice 50,000 per bag. Let me see. Or you bought a crate of egg, 1,500. Who bought, since this year, who has bought crate of egg, 1,500? Okay, who has eaten eggs since this year? Everybody, we've all eaten egg. How much people buy crate now? 4,000. 4,500. 4,500. This one, but the way she's saying it, like she's angry with you. 4,500. Okay, that's true. This is GRA, 4,500. In the market, 4,500, right? Now, guess how much that person that you're buying from, how much do you think the person bought it? 4,200. This mama, she's very generous. Who else wants to try? How much the person buy it from the farmer? Your own 4,000.
4,380.
The person is now selling it for 5,000. Okay. Note that down because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to discuss what's actually the person supplying the dog at farm gate. So if you're a poultry farmer, who said I'm doing poultry? Okay, yeah, you're doing poultry. Do you do egg? You do broiler? Okay. Who is into poultry here? So if you're a poultry farmer, you come to the market and you see that someone is selling the egg that they bought from you, 4,800 at 4,500. What does that tell you? Who is going to help us? Middlemen. Now write that down. Middlemen. Write it. Don't forget, I told you we are not going to be doing farming, only farming here. Middlemen. Put it down. We can call them aggregator. So people, you can call them winch. Anyone you have to call them, but just put it. Middlemen. So if you, as a farmer, look at this very carefully. I'm doing this at this beginning because of those of us that are young. If you as a farmer, you raise, how many of us know how long it takes to raise a bird before it starts laying? 6 months. This brother says 6 months. Okay, let's leave it at 6 months. So we don't scare you. 5 months you can start getting eggs, right? If I have 4 months, you can start getting eggs. Now, look at it. You took money from Osusu contribution. For those of us that don't know Osusu, you took 5 million. You now went to start poultry farm. Maybe the land that you bought 5 years ago that has appreciated. You now started a poultry farm. You now went and called a consultant like me and now charge you big money. We now started the farm. You brought day old chicks. You brought it to your farm. You raised it to 6 months. And you now started laying egg. You now started selling. You now sold 1 crate for 3,800. The man, like this Auntie Ose, let me use that. Please stand up. Because that's how they used to dress. They dress very smart. You will not see old women come to your farm and say, I want to buy egg now. They dress very smart, wear cap. They will just come like this and come and intimidate you. Thank you. Now, she just came now and sweet talk you. She bought 3/8. And she carried the egg, just drove from here to Yama. She sold it for 5. What does that tell you? Who can help us? Sir? What does that tell you? Middleman, what does it tell you between the middleman now? That is middleman, farmer. What does that tell you? Sir? It's a business chain. It's a chain. One is here. Let's say farmer is here. I'm going to draw this for you. Farmer is here. Consumer is here. Then the middleman is here. So this is a value chain. And this is what agribusiness is about. You can do here. You can do here. You can even be a consumer and a seller. You buy. In fact, let me even tell you, because of our expectations, so I'm not going to focus too much on my slide because the slide is just a general thing. So I'm just going to be teaching and just ask your questions. Now, because it is agribusiness, it's not farming. If it's farming, all of us will enter here. We will enter here because this is where money is, Nabi. Because even at this 3/8, you are making profit. You are not running at loss. You are making profit, right? Even if it's 200, but you are making something. But the point is, you have invested so much. You have put in a lot of money and time to get 200 naira, maybe 200 to 500 naira profit. 200 to 500 naira profits per crate. Why this sister that just came to your farm, in one day, cost of transportation and everything that she will spend here, let's just say it's 200. And she's going home with 500 naira. Just one day. Mama said, that's agribusiness. So the point is, you look at the entire value chain. Let me draw. This board is too small for me. See, you look at the entire value chain. That's why when this mama was talking, she said, I'm into oil palm. I want to go into vegetable. So now let me ask you a question. How long have you been to oil palm?
Since 2020.
Sorry. 2020.
Yeah.
When did you start?
Last year, but
Just give us, okay, for the sake of those of us that have interest in oil palm, it's a very fantastic business. I'm going to tell her to give us a rundown. Then we'll pick it up from there. Just tell us, what did you do? You bought land?
I bought land. So after clearing it, I tried put maize first. But they told me, I just told them that I want to go into palm. They now said palm will be planted as from June, July, August. Then I now started looking for the right fruit to buy. So I went to Naifor, I went to Komu, and I went to other places. Then I was now advised to buy the one they call Tinera. That is the one I bought and planted. I have not even harvested because, no.
You have to start another business. This is interesting. Back and thank you. So this is the problem that most of us are having. In fact, we have 2 problems. Now, we'll tell you one. One, see, if you have not gone to a seminar like this before, let me see your hand. You have not gone to any agricultural seminar. Or say. Oh, you go university. Now you're even worse. All right. I have my mama there. I have this auntie that is already doing poetry. I have my mama. Okay, so only 4 people have not gone in this class. So the rest of us, we have gone. Okay, for those of us that have gone, how many of us we have planted as little as ugu? There is actually no little, but at least ugu, one stand, you have planted it. After all the training you have been going. Or you have done something. You just planted something or you started something. Okay, so what does that tell you? It means that we are all informed. That we have, in one way or the other, we've been informed. We have heard it. We have seen it man around town. Or we have heard it, you do it yourself or something. We have just heard it. Now, look at it. The problem is starting. That's number one. We consume the information. If I'm not able to achieve that today, that's why I'm not focusing on my slide. Because some of you now, by the time I start, now you take note and take note and take note. You go home. You say, this guy has motivated me. Tomorrow, I'm going to start planting. This night, the money you even budgeted, say, you don't use that, go buy land. You don't forget that. You continue something else. You have that book now that you wrote, in 10 years' time, maybe your children may not even see it. Right? So the goal is not for us to talk. No, if it's talk, in fact, you can buy my course. You can buy my mentorship. Anyone, while another day. The goal is starting. That's why, for someone like her, she's not even concerned that, I've invested so much and the palm is just growing there and all that. Let me wait. She's pushing for something else. And let me tell you what that is doing to her. Once you have started, it's like starting an engine. You want to move a car. Once you wake up in the morning, you come to your vehicle and you start it. The vehicle starts running. The engine starts moving. In another 31 hours, the engine will heat up. Once it don't hot like that, if you press and small, it don't go, right? But when it's there, you didn't start it. The engine is cold. You can even sit on top of it. But when the vehicle don't go Lagos, come back, can you sit on top of it? So what she has done is that she has started something. So that's where most of us are failing. We hear so many things like this. We are motivated. We are interested. That's why in my slide, you are not going to see anything like return on investment. Because once you just put figure, you just put down like this, you make 20%, you make 30%, you make 50%. Once you put 1 naira here inside this pipe, it's coming out from there as 1 million. That's the mindset most of us have. That's why when we even start, for those that have succeeded in starting, guy lied to me. That's why I didn't put it. But I will still talk about it, right? So now, let me tell you the second challenge, which is what I picked from what she said. Once we start, is integrated agriculture straight. Like once you just plant your first okra or cocoyam or this thing, what's it called? Cassava. The next you are thinking now, let me start rearing goats. Let me start doing it. No, it's not like that. Start from one. Succeed in it before you move to another one. Did you get that? I wish I can say this like 4 times, but I can't. Start from one. If you are doing cassava, remain there until you have seen the results. You cannot say what I have heard, what I've seen, what my hands have touched. I've seen results. Before you cannot say, I want to add maize to this, plus maize. Otherwise, I will just tell you what you will end up doing. Just end up feeding us consultants. You call me, you tell me you want to do it together, I will charge you like this. You will pay. We will start. After your 3 months mentorship or whatever, I back out. After 1 year, you look at cassava, it's not growing well. You look at maize, it's not growing well. You say, okay, let me add pepper. As you start pepper, it takes the leftover cash that you have. You are out of business. You tell them, say, this agriculture. You need 5 streams of income. Please. Agriculture, that's why I'm saying agribusiness. Agriculture is not 5 streams of income. Oh. It's not 5 streams of income. Oh. Let's listen. Agriculture is not that. And I've also seen people say, and it's sad, though, it's sad. I'm not happy I'm saying this. I'm a civil servant. I'm retiring next year. Come and do agriculture for me. I will not get there. It says my retirement plan. I will not get there. And that's okay. Sir, what do you need? You say, as I'm here like this, I've been a civil servant for over 30 years. Now, all my gratuity, all the money I've saved, I have to push it into agriculture. I saw one man on YouTube. The man said, once you put 1 naira a year, you add 5 crops, it becomes 5 streams of income. It's not like that. For the love of God. for the love of God, where God planted, God, imagine now, God created the whole world. Oh. It's not today. It's not that after Adam and Eve, God was not creating, expanding. All these places that we are in today. Yeah. God created it from that very day. Oh. He carried Adam. He carried him. He put him for where? Did God put Adam say, go like Cain? Say, go, just be going. Anywhere your feet gets to. You turn everything to multiplication. Was that what God did? Why did he not do that? Turn Adam to 5 streams of income in the whole world. Take the east, go there. Take west. Do you think God couldn't have done that? He could have done it, oh. But what did he do? He created a section. One section. One section. And from the look of things, that section was not that big, oh. Was not that big, Papa. That garden of Eden that we are all calling today. From my own calculation, it was not that big, oh. It was not 10,000 hectares of land, oh. From my own, I don't know, maybe it's in the Bible, but from my own calculation, it was not that big. Otherwise, before they pursue Adam come out, even that angel will trek tire. Yes, now think about it. God just said that, oh yeah, let them get out of my house. And one angel just came and said, okay, maybe like what my book of Bible story taught us. Just carry sword. I said, yeah, follow me. The angel would have trekked till today. He would still be trekking if it was that big. Abi, Adam would say, sir. Or maybe Eve will tell us, okay, not be waiting you plan. When they say bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, this was not what we planned. I cannot be trekking with you like this now. They would have used vehicle. They would carry something. They carried them. It was not that big. So it was, just woke up, out. Everybody just packed their things away. So, agriculture, let me emphasize on agribusiness because what they've taught you is farming. Once you start one, stay there. If you don't see the result, don't leave it. Don't leave it. And let me share one experience with you. Some years ago, I decided, okay, professionally, outside what Pastor Derek read, I don't usually like it. I don't know what it was. Just I studied agriculture, first, second degree. And by God's grace, I'm going to continue studying it. And I didn't just study agriculture. I was born into a farming family. Notice the word, it's not agribusiness. To a farming family. My family agriculture. If not, my mom, in fact, the last time I saw her now, was it 2 days ago? She told me the land that she has in she said she has got the land that will just show her which day. Said she has got to weed it. What do you want to do with it? She said she want to plant cassava. I was just laughing. Now, but I decided, let me just cut the long story short. I decided that, we want to do cucumber farming. You know, they told us then, though, even in school, they lied to us. They said, you cannot do beans, you cannot do cucumber, you cannot do watermelon, you cannot do onion in the south. Have we heard that before? Unfortunately for us, they could not hold us back. We mistakenly planted cucumber and saw that it was growing. That's that today. Do you know that we grow onion here? You know, Abi? We grow onion here, in those states here, onion. Onion, we are growing it here. Like think of it. My uncle has apple in his compound. Real apple, not all those bongologo. That we used to call apple out of hunger. I don't know how that is apple. Real apple, he has it in his compound. This Edo States. Now, I'm not talking about anywhere. So, first of all, disengage your mind that there are some things that you cannot grow in some places. Leave all those stories. Now, we decided I wanted to go into cucumber farming. We got a land. And just like Mama, we went to lease the land. We brought some guys from the north to come and work for us. We gave them a house and everything. We started. Enter. Because one of our guys then told us that once you plant cucumber like this, money everywhere. Like if you turn left, money. If you turn right, money. So we said, if we don't make money for this cucumber, change our name. That's how we started. We planted cucumber. In fact, unfortunately, I didn't put the picture on my slide, but it's in my phone. I posted it on my LinkedIn. Maybe some of you can go to my LinkedIn and read it. That's how we started, though. In 1 acre of land, 1 whole acre, we only got 5 bags of cucumber, 5 rice bags, the beans, 5 rice bags of cucumber. That's all we harvested. If you know, at least for those of us that have an idea, you know cucumber is a coily. It climbs. So one cucumber, one stand, at least if it doesn't give you anything, should give you 5. Oh, okay, let me just reduce it. So that's more. If you know, not wrong, I go and start it now. It will give you 3. Let's say 3. 3. Now, each ridge that we did, we planted over 100 per ridge. Over 100 stand per ridge. And the ridge that entered that place, unfortunately, I cannot remember the exact figure, was over maybe 120. What was 120? More than 120. More than 120. Because we did it session by session. At the end of the day, all the money I investment will do. Immediately we harvested these 5 bags. We abandoned the land, abandoned everything. The workers, we begged them, when they go, we ran away. That was the first mistake. That's why I brought it, so that you don't think that everything worked out for me smoothly. It did not. Too. I've lost a lot of money in agriculture. So if I'm telling you what has worked and what has not worked. So just take note. And I'm also trying to generalize, so that some of you will not say, he said it to cucumber, money did, now there will they go now. No. Now, the mistake we made was not in failing, no, or losing all those money. The mistake is in running away. He that put his hand on the plow, I will use King James English, and looketh back. Is not worthy of the kingdom. It's a law, it's not a quotable quote. It's a law. If you put your hand on something and you turn away from that thing, you are not worthy of the reward of that thing. You are not worthy of the reward. Did you get that? No. Did we get that? If you start your oil palm and they told you 3 years, you start harvesting everywhere, oil. 3 years, you will not see any oil anywhere. If you like, use tenera. If you like, go to Komo and plant it there. If you go to Komo and plant it there, you are not getting anything like that. Too. Don't let anybody deceive you. So, like, I don't know why I'm trying to be very, very raw this morning. My slide is there. But I can talk without my slide. So let's just focus. Now, as you have started it, you have invested money. I've seen people, maybe if you have questions that can touch on all those things, I will tell you. You are supposed to go back, analyze, why did I harvest 5 cucumber bags from 1 acre of land? They say, Oga, the workers, they not do what they tell you, what you tell them they do. You notice that management. So you may, for someone that asks about challenges, you're already getting your answer. Start writing it down. Management. You will not get anything, though. If you like, put 2 billion into the farm. If your management is wrong, you are getting 0 billion out of the business. Management. Write it 3 times if you can. Management is the only way to make money out of agribusiness. The only way, put it there. Okay, sorry, it's not the only way. Mama prayed this morning. When God's super meets your natural, something will happen. So add that one. But for the sake of this class, once you get your management wrong, forget I've been doing it for 30 years. I went for, like it was noted, I do a lot of project work with organizations. So about 8 years ago, they had a training like this. I will not mention the people. They had a training like this. Our organization was called there. So they called me and said, you have to be there since you are within those days. And I went there. I got there. I was very humble. And they called me out. When the people saw me, these people, they are like my grandparents and all that. They introduced me and said, this boy is our consultant who he has been working with us. They looked at me and said, this small boy. Wait till you know. The man told me, I can't forget, 2 of them. The man said, I've been doing poetry for 30 years. What do you have to tell me? I said, okay. The other one said, the woman said, I've been doing poetry for 15 years. There's nothing you have to tell me. I said, thank you. I was so embarrassed. I could not even say my name. By the time I was leaving there, I said, that's so far. I left. Now, guess what? Less than 2 years after, this same man called me and said, no, I did an event. So I can't remember they got information. So they came. When they saw, Like, is it not this small boy that organized all this event and everything? But to cut the long story short, they now pleaded with me that I should come and have a session with them, a paid session. They now gathered their members. I said, come and paid for me to come and do the training. Now, why did I bring that in? I'm bringing that in for those that want to go into consulting. It's part of it. I will show you a slide and I will talk about all the value chains. I will break it down. You know, I told you we are doing agribusiness. We are not doing farming here. So, some of us here now, you already have what it takes to be a consultant. Should I prove that? Okay, for those of us that have done, okay, both of you, you have a farm, Abi? What farm do you have? Please, where's Mike? I'm not talking about go consultant, but I'm going to prove to you that some of you here now, you are already a consultant. So the things that they used to press me down, I'm going to tell you so that you use it to lift you up. Yes, please, go ahead. What do you do? I know you mentioned it before.
Well, presently I'm a salesman here in Benin, but I have a
sales manager.
I'm a salesman here in
salesman, okay.
Yeah. But I have a plantation somewhere in Delta State.
Plantation. What are you planting?
We used to be into palm oil. Palm oil.
Awesome. So, sorry, how many years have you been doing that?
I've done that for 6-7 years now.
6-7 years. Okay. Have you consulted for another person before? To set up their farm, oil palm farm, to do exactly what you have done?
Yes, sir.
How many have you done?
Up to 3. One was on rescue. It's bushfire.
Okay.
So I had
but the sales job you are doing is for another organization, Abi?
Yes.
Okay. Which means your consulting is not paying the bills, Abi?
I left it for a while, so I want to come back. It's like a comeback time.
You want to come back? Why do you have to come back?
I have a business registered normally when I started farm.
For consulting?
No, for the farm.
For
I was
farming.
fully into farming.
Okay.
Before coming to
Fantastic. Now, from that your oil palm business, also that oil palm plantation that you did, what session did you actually specialize in? Is it that you did nursery, or you did management, or you process? Which of them did you do?
From management to processing.
From management to processing. This guy is a general consultant for oil palm. Right, your live down. Now, thank you. Now, let me tell you, some of us here, let me use this lady because she said she just started. Sorry, I don't know your name, but that's wrong. This class is not too big for me not to know everybody's name. But please, you tell us your name and what you said you were doing.
Okay. My name is Abies.
Abies, okay.
I actually started doing small poultry because of my former landlord. He was doing it before.
Yeah.
He stopped doing it.
Yeah, you now picked it up.
Yes, I started using his cage to rear chickens. So that was how I started.
When did you start?
About 3 years ago.
3 years. I thought you started last.
No.
You not consultant to that. Okay, now, how many seco have you done?
5.
Have you done 5?
Yes.
5. Awesome. You raised those birds from dayhood?
No.
So you bought
4 weeks.
4 weeks, fine. And you grew them?
Yes, for 6 months.
Did you make profit?
Yes, I did.
You made profit. Okay, thank you. She's a consultant. Now, let me use her as a case study. I thought she started in December. Now, let me tell you, when you see consultant, when you see that word consultant, you just look at one big word, just like you saw farming, that maybe you have to go to the village. No. What it simply means is that you saw where gutter day, where erosion day. You succeed, you cross the road. Now, you are coming back to show other people that how to take that road. There is, avoid this place, or you need to climb something to pass this place, that's what it means. Simple. So if you have succeeded in raising 4 weeks old birds and you made profit from it, all you need to do now is to just standardize that practice, because you have done it for 3 years. Just standardize it. And look at who are the other people around you that have that kind of space and they are interested. Even if they are not interested in poultry, you generate the interest from them. After December, you have to be interested now. Where you don't buy chicken in 15,000. Would you have interest where you have space? Now, All you need to do now is that what I did and succeeded, I want to teach other people how to do it and succeed. That's consulting. It's not what you did that you didn't succeed, though. That's okay. Let me teach people. If you have not succeeded, like Mama and I cannot tell her to go and be teaching people or because she never ever harvest from the one where she plants. What will you tell you? So I'm not encouraging anybody to go be a laptop, be go-go farmer, go-go consultant. Just go. You know everybody now. In fact, that's why I actually brought this up. For those of us that are young, and you have the energy. There are people on TikTok now. On TikTok, they are farmers. In fact, they've been doing farming for only God knows when. And they have not planted cassava once, but they are cassava consultants. And the truth is, it's actually easy. That's the funny thing. Because they go and do research. And they will tell you everything with mouth. And you be convinced. The only problem you will have is that because they never pass the road, by the time you consult them, they will take your money. The oil palm they told you start harvesting. In 3 years, you no longer see harvest. They will abandon you there because they don't know what to do. That's where the problem starts. So, but for people who have done it, you have done it for 3 years, what are you now waiting for? Or you want to go and pick a bank job or something? You get, so it's agribusiness. It's not farming. If it's farming, then you are okay. Continue your farming. Just be doing it. Just be doing it. But it's business. So you have to look at every area in what you are doing to increase your income. That's livelihood. That's livelihood. Livelihood is centered on two things. Increase income and food. Or food security. So you don't buy chicken again now. If you are December, you won't buy chicken. You have solved, that's food. You have solved it. When you say increase income, you have increased it. That's livelihood. So you have to look at everything. Some of us, we can never raise chicken. Don't just deceive. In fact, don't let anybody. If I like today, let me keep talking about chicken. How you will make 1 million from chicken. Some of us can never raise chicken. Do you know why? We don't like them. We don't like them. Someone said, if I see fish like this, I can run. How can you see fish and run? Do you get? So if I now tell you, go and be raising chicken. Go and be raising chicken. You will buy it and you never visit the farm. Your security and your workers, they will carry your chicken and go and be selling. So they will go and be eating it. They will use to make soup. Do you get? So it is the area that you can do. If you don't have time for farm, why will you go and be doing farming? Don't do farming. Buy egg from Pastor Derek, from his farm. Supply to the people doing Mishai. Rest. Rest. Or the person making chicken. She's raising chicken. You buy the chicken. You slaughter it. You slaughter the chicken. You supply to people. And these days, I'm trying to say a lot of things. Now, for those of us that want, okay, let me leave processing. Do you know that chicken now, do you know there are people, just like that egg that we did now, their only work is to go to a farm, buy the chicken, process it, go and give to another person. That's their only work. And they are getting enough money from it. And you don't need to do so much. You don't need to go to ITV and do adverts. You don't need to go to, you don't need to go to, you need to go anywhere, right? But you don't need to go and pay so much to do adverts. You have your social media now. You have WhatsApp. Those of you that are broadcasting, if you don't share these 20 things, you will die before evening. It's marketing now. No, it's marketing. Is it not marketing? If you don't share it, they say you don't share. If you don't share it to 20 people, your money, you will go broke. All this. That's marketing. Someone is broadcasting fear for you to share, and most of us will share it. Let's not just use a church to cover. Some of us will share it, or maybe we used to share it. We have stopped, right? The same way, broadcast your oil, broadcast your chicken, broadcast whatever you are doing like that. It's business now. If someone that is not making anything from broadcast to 20 people has the confidence to be disturbing you, so you even tell them, if you don't stop it, I will block you. The next morning you receive it. Right? The person has the confidence and is continuously broadcasting to everybody. He doesn't care whether you are in one place, so he doesn't care whether you are even in US at the moment. You broadcast it. So let alone you that are putting so much money. You add them money into something, and you are scared to broadcast. I don't know if they will insult me. I was in a training last year. Let me tell you something. I was in a training last year. It was sponsored by the state government and World Bank. So we went through the whole of Edo State to do that training. So it's actually also an agribusiness. And while we were there, we were talking about challenges. Someone stood up and said, I don't sell. I don't sell. I was talking about marketing, how to market your agri product. He said, I cannot sell. My product is always like this, always like that. I said, you cannot sell. What's the problem? He said, because my friends, they're also doing the same business. So I don't want to use my business. I say, I don't understand. Is it, even if it's NGO, living your dreams, will you say because another NGO is in Edo State, you don't want to do anything, sir? Can you do that? Is there another NGO is doing livelihood something? You don't want to do it. Can you say that? Then we are not serious now if we want that. So if you are thinking of what they will say, you say, I used to think like that too. So I'm telling you some. See me broadcast to people on WhatsApp. You never see me. Say, create a WhatsApp group. Start sharing it. You never see me. I say, how they will think now? They'll say, Joseph, they do this one. No, I know. I said, no, I don't want. My social media. In fact, that's why if you go to my Facebook and Instagram today, the last post you see there probably 3 years ago is only on my LinkedIn because I want to protect one image. Madam, when hunger beats you, you will never protect any image. You go blam. When you buy a bag of rice. Now, there's a video. I had 2 videos I wanted to show us, but I look and say, no, I said, I don't ask the table. Make I leave her so that we'll use her serve next time. I looked at it. No. No, Mama. I will just, when they ask questions, I go use her. Now, when I'm talking about consulting now as a value chain, and why did I bring this up? This is a business. You can even be there. You don't have a farm anymore. To come and say, we need to do it now. Yeah. Then I asked him. He said, the money he has lost because he said, help me stay here. Help me do this one. So let alone family. Should I shock you? We set up okay, I wasn't the one that technically set the farm up, but it was a fish farm. Then the owner is abroad. We set it up. I had workers to supply the fish and all that. So I usually go I was on a monthly retainer. So every month I go there, check if they have questions, I answer and all that. So this particular time I went, I saw it and I was like, this fish, fish is that pond now. You cannot go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, right? But from experience, when I saw the ponds, I told myself, I said, this worker is using this fish to prepare soup. I went and called the owner. They said, no, you don't know. Nothing happened to the fish. I said, okay, fine. If you say so. After like 2 weeks, we went together. As we go there, I said, I came here. 2 weeks ago, we were talking. I said, okay, let's go to the store. Unfortunately, his kitchen is close to the store. As we were going like this, one bucket that was just by design, fish just jumped out of it. Flying fish, fly. This side for that. He was so sincere. He said, I want chop him. Inside me. I didn't know whether to laugh. Because I don't tell your guy, he said, you know the chopper. I don't even know. Maybe it was actually a prophetic gift. Maybe I saw it. It was spiritually, like not like I counted the fish, right? Like I said. So, and I looked at it. I don't understand. Wait, don't they? Fear not let her pick fish up. Me when they call concern, if they even tell me, say, you can carry, I will say, don't try it, I'm not carrying. Now you don't chop. When and I looked, I said, okay, I just pushed back, I allowed the Yola started ranting. He was complaining. I tell you. So, talk story short. When it was time for us to harvest, we have already planned who to come and buy the fish. A day to that guy has harvested some of them and say, pack his things. Till today, we never see him. So, let alone, Mama, you that you say you have to leave it for your workers. Even they go use your farm to go buy land. So now, the point I'm trying to make is that if you have a physical farm here, if you are really sincere in doing the business, if they call you say, now London we see, so you are not going, no. You are not going. Do you know why? Because you have physical investment. Your money is tied down here, and you cannot leave it. I said you have to leave it for the Holy Spirit to take care of it. But if the Holy Spirit doesn't do that kind of work, you know. You are doing consulting with the experience that you've gotten. You can be anywhere and be providing solutions to people's issues. So I've given you one agribusiness. That those of us, and usually, you can train to be a consultant. You don't even need to have a farm to become a consultant. You can train to be a consultant. What you need to do is to follow those that are already doing it. They will take you, I will tell you the truth. Some of the agri business that I do today is I didn't put my personal investment in it. I didn't put my personal investment. It's from people's investment or people's farms, right? They call us, they say, come and set up farm. Maybe I have an issue, come and do this. Okay, let me share this. I had, okay, are we streaming? Okay, let me leave it there. So, but the bottom line is, you follow someone that is already doing it. You learn from the person. Then you start deploying that skill. It's a skill. The fact that you're a farmer is not supposed to translate that to a consultant. You are not supposed to be able to translate it. It's when you learn. You know what if you call me now, I have a finance issue, I can solve it for you. If you call me, I have staff issue, I can solve it for you. If you tell me I don't know how to say, I can solve it for you, right? So that is the part of it that you need to learn. So it's not just you put corn here, it grow, you harvest 3 months. No, it's not just that. So, but you are not going to put in so much capital like you have put in oil palm. It's your time that is required. So for those of us that we are young, vibrant, we are interested, maybe you are interested in doing poultry, you don't have the money, go and attach yourself to a consultant. Learn from his experience and the farms that he's consulting from. By the time you have learned enough, maybe with that, from whatever you're able to gather, you can start your own farm. Now, let me talk about something here. Please, bring my slide up. Go to maybe value chain or something. Just go. Now, for those of us that don't have, no, go forward, go. Okay, stop here. For those of us that don't have money to start, because all of us actually, we fall into 3 categories. 1, I have money. I don't know what to do. We have people like that. Yeah, I have some savings. I want to start agriculture, but I don't know what to do. Now, the other category is that I have money. I'm not interested, though. I want to give it to somebody to go and do it. That's where some of us now, the one that we have done before, we have lost money. We cannot find the person or the organization. Crowdfunding. Say, come and do this. Say, once you put your 1 million, in 2 months, you get 30% return on investment. You have given them your money now. You can't even find them. Their office is closed. Because it's not a Ponzi scheme. Crowdfunding, when we talk about, if I'm to talk about access to finance, I will tell you other areas you can get your money from. So now, let us look at this. The value chain, this is the value chain of agribusiness. And there are a lot of things that are not here, but I don't, the list is already bulky enough. I just, okay. Now, if you see number 1 there, input supply. Input supply itself is a business. What does that mean? I want to go into oil palm production. I don't manufacture my seed. I don't manufacture chemical. I don't manufacture, what's it called, machines or equipment. Even cutlass, I don't manufacture. But I want to do. I will go and meet someone that will sell the cassava stems, right? Or the oil palm, like she said, the oil palm seedling. Or the cutlass or the chemical. That person now that you are going to give your money to is an input supplier. And the person does not need a farm. All the person needs is shop or where to sell. But let me take it further. For those of us that want to go into that, you have money, you want to invest into that, fine, you can do that. We can discuss that one outside here. But for some of us, especially those of us, since majority of us are young, you don't need to have any store. You don't need to have any cutlass, any seed, anywhere for you to start selling inputs. As I'm here, I sell inputs. I don't have warehouse. Should I explain that or I should leave it? Okay, let's do inputs now. As a business, you know I told us, for those of us that just joined us, we are doing agri-business, not farm meal. We are not doing Okay. Now let's do it. Input supply as a business. So after this, I'll give us room to ask questions. Now, input supply said you can own a shop or a store just like a retail outlet for those that are selling biscuits like that. You also have this. You can have those kind of people that are in the Lagos Street in Benin here. Some are in Ted, all over the place. Like someone that is doing poultry. Now, let me use poultry as a case study. Poultry inputs, you have day-old chicks, right? We have battery cages or whichever cage, like the one she has. We have vaccines and drugs, right? We have the equipment, all those feeders, drinkers, and so on, all of that. Now, do you know that as I'm here, for day-old chicks, you need hatchery that you can buy day-old chicks from. Day-old chicks are small, small chicken, or we call them chick, small, small ones. They are day-old. Actually, the day-old is a technical term. It doesn't mean that they just born there now. Some of them are even 2 days old already before they get to you, or 3 days. Now, these people, we have the people that fall under this place. first of all, primarily, are the hatcheries. Those hatcheries, please, I need another marker. Those hatcheries, okay. Those hatcheries, they need a lot of investment. You find them in Ibadan and Lagos, primarily. We have in Edo State anyways. We have in Edo State. I wish I have their permission. Maybe I will forever market them. We need to market what we have here. Now, this hatchery, they produce day-old chicks. They hatch egg. Hatchery, they hatch egg to give you day-old chicks. So it's massive investment. That requires massive investment. So we are not talking about that one. But people buy, just like one of your companies now that they just sold out. Okay, let's use Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, for instance. People go to Coca-Cola factories, they buy and retail. Middlemen. You remember middlemen from beginning. So the middleman now comes in. This farmer. Can we see this? This is the middleman here. So this middleman, the hatchery, requires huge investment to start. In fact, when you go through that process, even you will know. The farmers need to get this hatchery, get the day-old chicks from the hatchery. But the farmer cannot go directly. You want to buy 1 carton of day-old chicks. That's 50 birds. You cannot call the hatchery to buy. You call middleman. Middleman will buy and supply to you. So it's the middleman here now that falls into this category of input supplier. You don't need to have any store to do that. It's the same thing that I told you before. Right. WhatsApp broadcast. Broadcast to your contacts. I supply day-old chicks at so and so price. Day-old chicks are supplied to those states on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays primarily. But if I tell you how that works, you know one buy again. Now, that's all you need primarily. You just need to have the contact of the hatchery. Abi? Have contact of the hatchery. Know their price. And broadcast it to both farmers and intending farmers. And thank God this is June. The business is starting now. It's starting today. People have started. People called. As I'm here, I sell day-old chicks. Am I in the hatchery now? Am I in the hatchery? Am I in Ibadan? Am I in a store? If my phone is here, if my phone was here, I will be using style to look at it. Because someone can contact me and say, I need day-old chicks. And I send them reply. They pay me money. I don't know. See, let me explain how this works so that you know that this thing is actually very easy. I don't know all the hatcheries. Okay, I know all the hatcheries, yes. I know all the hatcheries actually. Literally, I know all the hatcheries. But you don't need to know all the hatcheries. You just need to have the sales rep contacts. Right? Their sales rep, you just need to have their contacts. And you call that sales rep and you get the price and supply to anybody that is interested. You have made your profits. Or you have made your money. Let me just put it like that. You have made your money. The same thing for battery cage. As I'm here, vaccine and drug equipment, everything I can supply to anywhere. Let me even tell you. I've supplied to different states in Nigeria. I don't know who is buying. I don't know who I'm selling to. I don't know who is carrying it to go and give. None of us have met. It's only on call. And that transaction was done and dusted. Carry your money, put it in pocket, everybody rest. Do you understand? Joseph, or anyhow you call me, no wahala, I'm okay with it. Say, excuse me, I have an idea. And thank God Mr. J is here. let me acknowledge him. He was one of the consultants that assisted us and monitored us in my first grant. Actually, that was my first grant by the federal government. That was 2014, 2015. So he knows some of my history. So, once he knows the kind of ideas. That man is a big man. I don't know why. The kind of ideas that has gone through, that he has seen in this life. I'm sure by now he shouldn't even be listening to anybody, because we always have ideas. We always have idea. It's when I now ask you, what do you have? That's when you now start hearing stories. Say, I need money, I need money, I need money. You don't need money. I said this last year in some of our trainings, and they almost fought me. They said, don't ever try that. They said, don't ever try that nonsense. We need money. We need money. But you don't need money. The idea you have, you just need to plan it. Take it from idea to plan. I have a plan. Once you tell me I have a plan, I will listen to you. In fact, I wish this is not like so that they don't change the idea to plan. So I have a plan. By the time we start talking, say the idea, right? Turn that idea to plan. That's what I'm doing for you now. If you understand what I'm doing. For the input supply, just write it down. Let me give you a strategy, simple strategy. Just write down so that you don't go and disturb everybody. Maybe some people that you just met here now, you just had their just start bombarding. They say, that's what he said. No, that's not what I said. No, please. Write down from the list of maybe 2,000 contacts you have on your mobile phone. Write down at least 50 people that you know that, this madam, she's into maybe agriculture. Or she's not even into agriculture, but she get small money where she will like use for agriculture. Or maybe you don't even know her bank account. So, but at least you know that this person is doing something. Not be the one where they sit down house, so not they do anything. You broadcast to that person tomorrow. It will be like Messiah. It can never be moved. Now, write down that 50 people. That's what we call scoping or profiling. You scope them like, this person may be interested or may not be interested. Maybe interested, may not be. Just put them 50. That 50, broadcast to them. I supply input. Write the input out. I've already written it, so don't. For poetry, write them out. It's here now already. Just write from so and so ash tree. So let me give you the ash trees now, so that some of you can start your own now as we are sitting here. In fact, you can even do it as we are here. I won't say you are disturbing me. We have for poetry, we have CHI, right? We have AMO. In fact, the one that is even close to us here, we have Zatec. We have Agritech. We used to have Olam, but we have used this thing. We have driven them. we drove them out of Deo Chicks. So this for Deo Chicks business. We even have Obasanjo farms. And so on. The list is endless, but the common ones that people are interested in is this one that I just listed. We have a lot of it. So now, just put this in brackets. I supply Deo Chicks from all this hatchery. Don't give their price, because the price today is Tuesday. It's not the same price for Thursday. So if you need contact of their sales rep, call me, I will share it, because this is living your dreams. But normally, if you meet me in another thing, I will not give you. That's not my money. Sorry, not by chop money with that. Because if I give you, how will you not do? Will you do business with me? You won't do. I tell you the truth, you won't do. The same thing for battery cage. I can give you contacts for those that are supplying direct distributor price, not this one. The middleman will now also say to you. Are you listening? So once you have done that now, you have started your business. So you have started input supply already. Have you spent any money with this thing that I've said? Have you spent? Who has spent money with this thing that I've said? Now, I have spent money to start the business. Who has spent? You are supposed to spend, because it's living your dreams. If you had met me now, I first of all say my mentorship give you, then you would have spent money. But I just gave you a simple strategy to start selling inputs with what you already have. These are people say that they started from zero, but you are not starting from zero. You have a phone, you have data, that's money. So technically, this is what you can do. It's agribusiness. All of us must not. You say, maybe 2 months from now we meet and say, Alpha, where are you there now? Or where are you now? I hate that question. Say, where are you now with our Living Your Dreams training? You say, I'm still looking for money. Don't tell me that one. No. Like, you are not looking for money. You are actually not. If you are looking for money, you would have done some of these things that we have said now. You would have done it. This alone can raise money for you to start your farm. I know people that are living on just what I just said now. That's what they are living on. They are not doing any other work. Just marketing it. Do you understand? So the same thing you will do for crop, for those that are into crop, the same thing you will do. You just add it. I sell seedling. I sell chemical. I'm going to sell, for those of us that are interested, when we start talking about gardening now, we'll start talking about starting your own farm in your house, like backyard farming. I will sell input for you. I will sell input if you want. If you want, I will sell. With just 45,000, you can buy input that you will use to start. Just 45,000. That 45,000 has seed, has fertilizer, has chemical. The chemical that you need is inside for you to go and grow your own crop from your house. Is that easy? Or is that cheap, right? So that's all we need to start for inputs as agribusiness. Are we following? So let me give us, this first session is up. Let me give us opportunity to ask questions. So far, let me give you room to ask questions. So far, question.
Take your questions. Thank you. We are going to take your questions. Why? So he can also catch his breath. However, like we were saying, one of the benefits of having this discussion is the fact that you get to have access to mentorship. All right. So you're able to ask questions, and we are opening up mentorship for the next 1 year. All right. So Living Your Dreams is a non-profit, faith-based non-profit, and he is working with us to be able to provide that mentorship for you that you normally would have gotten at a very expensive, at a very high cost outside of this place. However, if you want the mentorship for the 1 year, you are going to sign up for it because there's a tendency for people to just abuse the process, right? So if you want the mentorship under Living Your Dream, you're going to indicate you sign up for it, then the journey starts. But if you're engaging outside, he will engage with you outside. But if it's within this livelihood empowerment project, which is the next phase, after this seminar, the next phase is those who will sign up for it, he will provide mentorship for them. I just want to drop that so that you know. But outside the Living Your Dreams livelihood project mentorship, if you're engaging with him one-on-one, it's going to be at his professional fee. All right? So let's take your questions. I guess he disappointed some persons that were expecting, what should I plant, how will I plant, or what should I rear, how will I rear, but he's giving you other aspects. But he can take both what should I plant, what should I not plant, right? So we're going to take some questions now. He's going to engage them at about 11:30. We'll be receiving input from the professor. Then he will come again. Then Dr. Joseph will continue. So we have a doctor and a professor today. Are we not blessed? Okay. So bring your questions coming in. Ask questions from what you heard him say, from what you did not hear, that you wanted to hear. Let's take questions. Let's take questions. Okay, Mr. Tahiru. And Salome, please help me with the other mic. So we'll just go direct to the points. It might be within the scope of what he's talking about. It might be outside what he talked about. We are here to learn. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a very good, insightful lecture, first lecture. So very quickly, it's to do with pricing. I saw you dotted on middlemen, off-takers and all that. So when you go about trying to get input from creator to the person that would use it, we need to have a price control on these things. We are burning ourselves from the two ends. This country is going to burn if we continue like this. You don't just take things from A and go sell to B at arbitrary prices. So the federal government has set up FCC, PCC to control these things. Now, what pricing scheme, what pricing template is the industry using? Because if you have that, when you do it, I do it, and this man does it, we all make gain, and we're all happy. But when everybody is putting their price arbitrarily, then we have a big problem in agriculture. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let me just take that. Let me just take a question. You can also write your question down, and let's also look out for those online if they have questions there, so we can write them out. Now, what you have said is something that we have been on for years, and is a major issue. In fact, is a major issue. If you go outside the country, I did a research with India because we have a similar economic structure, right? Outlook in terms of population, the kind of people, our development. And what I discovered is that they have adopted this price control. And of course, all the developed countries, they use price control. But as of today, in Nigeria, we don't have that. We only just have committees that we may never... Okay, I'm online, sorry. That we, by God's grace, we start seeing their impact very soon. We'll start seeing their impact very, very soon. But trust me, price control for now can even be your business, right? We are talking about agribusiness. So what we have, let me tell you what we have basically. What we have basically is that we have people, let me use Deo Chicks for instance. I listed some hatcheries. I'm not going to call names. I listed some hatcheries and I told you that we buy Deo Chicks from them, we buy all the hatcheries. None of them have the same price. None of them have the same price. As we speak, none of them have the same price. So one can wake up and say, I'm selling at this price. If you like, buy. If you like, don't buy. Another one wakes up and says, I'm selling at this price. That's why you can never get their price 2 days to. It's a night to that they give you price. Now, let me even shock you. Let me shock you. I don't care if this one is online. We went for a poultry show. And part of this my impulse supply idea. So I went in a poultry show, in a normal poultry show, you have white people that import all these things and all that manufacture them in their country. They come, they exhibit. Everybody exhibit. While the marketers that import from there, they also exhibit and everything. So you can meet all the suppliers and ask them questions. Now, we negotiated with like 4 different suppliers on input that we want to buy. This one want to buy them now. We agreed price today. The next morning, because they didn't have it, they said they would bring it the next morning, then we will make payments. The next morning we came. We didn't travel. We didn't go home and accord. The next morning we came to the same event. And we told them, the list of what you gave us is what we said we want to buy. Now this is the money. Give us goods. They told us that as they are even standing now, they are not selling anything to anybody. I looked. Sir, you know that kind of thing where they say, come and go home. You know, I want to go. Sir, but it was, we're the ones that was discussing yesterday, and we're all shiny teeth, and we agreed, though. This is the list, though. This is the list, sir. This is the list you gave me, oh. This is the price, oh. He said that we are not selling again. We are sorry. I said, sorry now. Sorry for what? I want to carry goods. I'll pay you. He said, it's cash, oh. You know, the idea is to use for people say, if you bring cash, they will say they are not selling. We called their boss there. We called their boss. Their boss came and said, I gave them an order for them not to sell. And I said, okay, sir, what is the issue? He said, we just got an insider information that dollar is going up. So we have decided that everything in the warehouse we are not selling. As we are here now, we are going back to our warehouse. 4 different companies. Under normal circumstances, it would have been a challenge, Abi. Because we are hearing that dollar will go up. It's not like it has gone up. We are hearing. So we are not selling. So it's that bad. So at the end of the day, is what you get from the importers that you can work with. So if they say, let me give you a case study now. We're supplying for those that are into poultry. Or if we can actually use any other thing, but let me just use poultry. For those into poultry. Battery cages, foreign battery cages. Last year, I supplied at the actual price. Okay, let me tell you the actual price and the price I was supplying so that for those of us that want to go into it. The actual price I was getting it from the warehouse was 145,000. 145,000 per unit. And I was selling at 160,000 per unit. right? You will pay for transport. Technically, I'm not doing anything. All I have is the contact of the distributor. Now, other retailers were selling 180. They are not like retailers actually. They are like distributors in Edo State. They are selling 180. But me, I'm selling at this price because I'm getting at this price. Can you see what is happening? Meaning that even this guy now is actually buying at this price or less. But he's selling it. And you can't change it. There's nothing you can do about it. Me that is even selling at this, I'm even going less. Say, after I'm making this, I'm going lesser to do this. Now, as at now, this same thing now, is selling. Okay, no. I should not give you the actual price. Oh, And if you now want to buy, I give you price now. You now say, this is not what you told us. It's now going for 250. The same unit to 260. You see this now? This is what it's going for, the same unit. So there is nobody to tell you that it must. In fact, before you even say anything, they will tell you dollar. From this example I gave you now, they will tell you dollar. They will tell you, I'm expecting, we are expecting. And these things are already in their warehouse. That's how it works. So anything, that's why we are saying, we've been talking about these things at different levels. At government level, at NGO levels. Let's do price control for this country. That's the only way to say. The real issue we are having with this food inflation is not minimum wage to increase minimum wage. Should I even be talking about minimum? I say I don't want to talk anything political, but let me tell you, for those of you that are labor members, the issue with this thing is not minimum wage. It's not let's increase minimum wage so that you'll be able to afford it. If you increase minimum wage, this thing will go up. Hope you know. This minimum wage will go up. Fuel price that you are complaining that is 750 now or 650. As they give you 100,000 minimum wage, it's going up. Is the market dynamics. Once there's market information that something is going to happen anywhere that is outside our control, everything goes up. Demand and supply. Demand and supply. So the same thing happens to Deo Chicks business. As we are talking, let me give you a principle now. If you want to go into poultry production, there is season for it to. Don't go and do, I better pass my neighbor. There is season for everything. Based on price. If you want to do broiler production for festive period, especially, by now, the price of Deo Chicks, cage, everything has started going up. Because people will start stocking from August to start raising the best they will sell in December. For those that are like us, those stock from, of course you can't because the market woman or even you that is going to buy chicken for Christmas, are you going to put it on the scale? You said it's 2 kg, bring it. Nobody is buying 2 kg for Christmas. It's as they see it, like, look, this one big. How much, madam? Say 20,000, 50,000. You price. So you are buying by size. That's why people will start raising chicken that is like giant for Christmas. Meanwhile, the one you are eating now is 6 weeks old, though. The one you use from January to December, 6 weeks and 8 weeks old. But for festive period, you can no longer eat that one. It's giant that you're looking for. You are part of our problem. All right? Now, what I'm saying is that if you want to buy now, the price has started going up. Till that December, before the price will start going down. So if you are buying Deo Chicks now, one is like $750 per chick. Right? It's like $750 per chick. But by the time we now get to December, you now start seeing that the price has gone down. December, you now start seeing even 400 safe. By the time you get to January, February, you can even start seeing 350 per Deo Chick. Why is it like that? Is dollar not going up? Whether dollar is going up or not, it will not affect it. So that's where you understand this price control issue. The hatchery is not spending more money. It's just demand and supply that change the price. What does that tell you? That tells you that these people are making outrageous profits. That's why they can sustain the market at this low level. And nobody is saying anything. So people are saying that this one, that one, when people are talking online, I just keep my mouth shut. A company exited Nigeria. Eh? The company is into agriculture. They are even based in Edo State. If I tell you the profit they made last year, billions, sir, billions, and they sold out this year to another company. What did they do now? This week, in fact, they started this in so, but we just started hearing the news. They've gone to Ghana to buy another similar company. So, you are looking at it, you say, is it that they are not making money? But I just told you profit that they made. So why did they leave? Do you get? There's a company still in these Edo states. There's something I don't want to. There's something I don't. Okay, okay. Let me take other questions. Sorry, now so I talk sometimes. So the excuses, the point I'm trying to tell you, the excuses that you are seeing on news, all those ones that are just lies.
Thank you very much for this privileged opportunity. My name is Joseph as well. Some time ago, I have this 50 by 100 piece of land. I gave it to one lady and just helped me take care of it, be observing it. The next thing I saw cassava growing on it. I never knew that this woman leased this land to a farmer. And the farmer grew cassava, harvested the cassava. No, the farmer sold the farm. The person that bought the farm harvested the cassava and sold the stems. So as we are just talking now, this value chain, business chain, just made it clear for me. So in that cassava, the person that sold the land was different. I just told the woman, help me to check this land. I never knew she sold it to somebody for 1 year. That one planted cassava and sold the cassava, the farm to another person who bought the stem, the cassava product and sold the product and sold the stem. Now, concerning, you said we should start and remain in one and be successful first. But while I was growing up, our parents then used to plant corn, melon. Then you enter cassava from that same land. Yeah. And all of them will produce well. All of them will produce well. Yeah. But you are not saying we should stay in one and succeed in one. Then, concerning this pricing of a thing, the land surrounding me, I planted bitter leaf. These bitter leaves, they grew very well. And they were not too much for me to consume. Initially, I planted them just for personal consumption. They are not too much for me to consume. They are not so big like trees. Then I now started asking some women if they have any contacts that will come and buy. But some people that came to ask for that bitter leaf to buy, the whole bunch, they like trees around me, surrounding about 50 by 100 land. They were pricing it for a very cheap price that does not make sense. I just could not find myself selling it that much. I said, no, leave it. Okay. Maybe God will give me another revelation on how to sell that bitter leaf. So how do we do in such a situation? You have a product. Okay. There are some people now that have fish. They don't have markets to sell.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hopefully in our next session, I will talk about maybe marketing, how to market your products now for farmers. Because this one I'll be talking about. Because I told you, we are talking about agribusiness, not farming. That was my first goal. So what our parents were doing was farming. Remember, I also told us that it was farming they used to raise us, right? So, and secondly, if I had gone through my slide, I would have talked about sustainability, climate change, and stuff like that. Now, what we have today, that your land now, go and plant corn, plant cassava, plant this one, plant, and see whether you will get anything from it. that land has been used. Like the land that our parents were using, when they want to clear, they will go and carry a machine. They will first of all fell all the trees, all those timber that will now bring to town. They will now weed. It was so fertile. In fact, if as you are going, you are eating cucumber, the seed fall. Before you come by it, it's not growing everywhere. Do you get? In fact, some of the things that we are harvesting from all those land now, it was unconsciously planted. They didn't plant them. They just fell along the road and they started growing. But what we now have today, if I want to talk about land now, I will start talking stories. What we land is land that we have already overused. That's why we are talking about fertilizer. My mom never used fertilizer all her life, not even poultry manure. So the first time I called her, I said, this planting that you are doing now, do you know you can harvest? That time I was in 200 level agriculture. Then the thing just shocked me. You know, as they are telling you, as a lecturer, as they are talking, you have been seen everywhere growing. And now I went to meet the woman and said, what if I transform this your farm? I do irrigation. She was just looking at me, just allow me to finish up my nonsense. Say, okay, don't worry. Not be me you want to have for. Why? Because of what you just said. My papa, they do like this, they walk. My mama do I walk. He reached my time, they walk. So why do you want me to change? There's nothing to change. So first thing, that your land is no longer as fertile as what we used to have. The person that sowed it probably even used it to crop. He that planted cassava. Because he said the cassava said this stem. For land they not get, right? But having said that, people like you are actually part of our problem in this country. Yes, I said I must say it. Those of you, when we are talking about food security now, we are all crying, hey, we are going to Ukraine. Ukraine, that, did it not shock you? Country that have been fighting war for how long now? Over a year. They gave you grain. You that many thousand hectares of arable land you have in this country that we have never even cultivated, we never even plant put. Eh? They are giving you grain so that you will not starve. Ah, God. No, I don't want to talk about that. Now, let me tell you why I say it's people like you that are a problem. The land, now, thank God, your own, there's a testimony in it because someone else has cultivated that land. The land, one that they buy, they go keep. When I want to build house, you bought land. In one community, you heard that they are selling community land now. You went to buy 1 acre there at 200,000. The people that were doing farming then now, you have chased them away. You have put CFO, you have fenced it. But that land, you now, that is in town, in GRA, eating fresh food, eating what we are suffering to cultivate from the north, and you are eating. You have refused to cultivate that land, and you have refused to allow someone else cultivate the land. You see that you are part of our problem. Meanwhile, that land, before he bought it, they were doing farm there. Abi, all of us now, we have tied land down. We are not using it for, you know they chop, you know they allow one chop. So what I mean directly telling you is as you are seated here, you know you have 100 by 100 or 50 by 100 that you bought. There is no house there. Now foundation you don't lay put. Come meet me after this session. We'll go talk with you, we'll go plant there. Maybe you plant them. That's where you go plant there. Like this your, unfortunately, this your bitter leaf, God caused the increase, but you not do anything with that. It's simple. Like what I said before. When we come to marketing, you will realize we talked about pricing, we talked about middlemen, but I didn't tell you the negative effect of middlemen. This is part of it. But what you could have done is simple. You are a member of this church, Abi. There is no how you go through this church now. You will not see someone that bought bitter leaf from the market for the past 2 weeks. It's not possible. You went through this food church, you don't see anybody who buy bitter leaf. Or even your area. Those people that are coming to eat it. Now we are buying plantain leaf. We are buying plantain leaf now. We are not eating it. We are giving it to stay, but we are buying it. Anything that has, in fact, we are buying, you see all those bolly, those people eating bolly. Making bolly at the junction. They cut the peas. You know those peas, they are waste normal. And they find it difficult to dispose them. Now, they are selling them now. You that have bitter leaf, you can't sell it. Think about it now. It's simple. It means that you just need to look around. People are exporting bitter leaf. Hope you know, sir. People are exporting bitter leaf now, and it's a lot of money. Look around. Those people that have need for it, we are selling bitter leaf, and it's fresh. If you cannot wash it, because the problem we have now, most of us, because we are graduates. We have graduated from real income to what Papa calls salarium. Something that will give you, that your grandmother used to build house. You said you cannot do it as a graduate, but now you have worked for 15 years.
Hello.
Land. Do you get? Think about it. So that bitter leaf now, all you needed to do
Can you hear me?
was to add value to it. As bitter leaf standing, nobody will buy it with any value. Because you have to cut. I remember those days I used to follow my mom to farm without ulterior motive to cut bitter leaf and go and sell. We'll cut it from village. We'll bring it to New Benin market.
Hello.
They'll buy it maybe 100 naira per bunch. Plenty bunch. But those women, they will not cut it and say tiny, tiny things. 100, 200. But the full bunch you buy from me, you bought it 200. That's value addition. So we'll come to processing later. All you need to do, look for those that need it. Wash the bitter leaf. You can even start selling it in packs. It's simple now. You can start selling a bitter leaf pack. Innovation is innovation. Nobody. I've not seen bitter leaf pack before except dried one. Or you can
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. You hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Good morning. Can you hear me? I'm trying to say something. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Professor Eniola Fagbusoro will be talking to us about still on agribusiness, right? And he's very busy. He's in a meeting now. But at the same time, he took out time from that meeting to have this brief session. Then Dr. Joseph will come back. Please don't leave without asking questions to clarify. Professor, we know you are very busy. You are in a meeting, but you took out time to be here. We would love to receive you right now. Can we put our hands together as we receive Professor Eniola Fagbusoro? Prof, you are on, and we are listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you very, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think I have echo, so please confirm that you can hear me, or I don't have the echo again. Hello, please. Can you confirm that you can hear me? I can't have the echo here again, so I assume it's perfect from your end. All right. Thank you very much. I received a text. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and sincere apologies that I can't be there physically. I truly celebrate my bishop, Reverend Ben Aigbe Jr., and my sister, Pastor K, and the entire church. I want to thank you for the opportunity. I promise definitely there will be another time that I will be able to come in person to see all of you again. We're talking about agribusiness, and I'll just take it from the questions that I met. And thank you, my colleague that was discussing this topic earlier, and how he was answering that question.
Prof, please, can you turn on your video?
Okay, so you won't mind the way my face is. I mean, can you see me? Okay. Thank you very much. Please, you can chat me if you want me to continue. Just to be sure I'm okay. Hello? Please send me a message on the WhatsApp just for me to be sure everything is okay. Hello, Pastor Derek.
We can see you and we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. All right. Are we continuing again? I was saying that I was glad meeting a question on the market side, and that's where actually I want to start to everyone that is over there. And what my brother said, that actually it is not about farming, but it's about agribusiness. So we should not, in this generation and in this century, have it in mind that we want to go into farming the way our father and our mothers, were doing it. Now we're talking about agribusiness, which means we are combining the knowledge of agriculture, the technology in agriculture, the innovations that we are learning and getting in agriculture, and we want to bring business aspect of it. We want to bring the business mindset and business experience into it to be able to make a lot of profit. That should be the concept. That should be the notion that we have as everyone that wants to go into agriculture. Let me quickly say that agriculture is very profitable even now. Even though it's still very difficult, it still has a lot of risk, but the kind of profit that is involved, that farmers are making in agriculture today, is huge. And I will just tell you a bit on how they are doing that. To be able to sort to start with, as an agribusiness practitioner, before you put your hoe on the field, which of course I'm not expecting you to use hoe, but I'm saying before you even begin to prepare and to clear your land, the first thing that must be in your mind is market. How do I sell my product? And where do I sell my product? Who will buy my product? What is the where are those consumers of this product? And what price would they be willing to buy it? And how do I sell it directly to the consumers without going through the middlemen? I'm happy it was mentioned the problem that the middlemen are creating. We call them the market shark. They are the market shark. You take your product there and they just consume you and take everything out of you. They take all your profit away. So the best approach is to first of all sit down and say, where is my market? Where am I selling it? Who am I selling it to? And how do I have opportunity to enter into a formalized market rather than an informal market? So an informal market is when you invite those middlemen to come into your farm and to give you the price that you will sell your bitter leaf. An informal market is even when you take it to a local market in Benin City or wherever. But a formal market is for you to have been in agreement with a prospective buyer at the point of your production or even before your production, that you already have a kind of an intention to buy, and possibly at a price which will be satisfactory to both you and to that market end. So please bear that in mind. First step, market end. Where am I selling? Who am I selling it to? And what is required? What quality is required? Because that's also another important thing. Now you want to go into production and you have, the passion to produce, but you are not even considering the quality that will give you that will enter into that niche market, the quality that will give you the premium price. So you need to also know which quality am I going to be producing. So in a nutshell, my interest is how do we operate? How do we really implement this agribusiness approach? And I want to just give you some very brief points, which there will be no time to expand on them, but I believe an expert is there in the house who can further open it up, and possibly you might have mentioned one of them. So I've mentioned one of them. Sit down and look at your market end. Look at your size, the size of your market. Look at how can I get a formalized market? So let's take, for instance, the brother that asked about bitter leaf. So all you need to do is, where is the restaurant where bitter leaf is being used? And or maybe a restaurant or a mall where bitter leaf could be sold. And then you walk in and, of course, negotiate and determine whether they will be willing to buy, and then, sign an agreement with them or enter into any kind of agreement, such that when your product is ready, there is a market that is ready to sell it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also for you to have a business case. For you, you are a farmer, and also for whatever you are producing, you want to see what am I going to make profit? Because there is no point to investing and then you do not have profit. So you need to determine, why you are determining that, why you are calculating that, what yield will make sense for me to make profit. And that is where many farmers, we get it wrong. You do not sit down to look at what productivity ratio should I have for me to make profit. So maybe an average yield of cassava around Benin City could be about 10 to 15 tons per hectare. But would that pay for the cost of production that you would be putting into it? So you need to sit down and look at your business case and look at your entire cost and also entire your revenue. In looking at the entire cost, make sure that you are also including your own labor into it, because many of the mistakes our fathers make was the fact that they will just look at the little input they buy, and they do not even cost hand, they do not cost their own time, they do not cost their own labor, and even maybe they use our mom or our brothers to work on the farm. They do not look at all those costs. So you must look at all those costs, and then now look at what is the price, prevailing market price, and what will be the yield that will give me a profit margin that I really want. Then that helps you to now know what agronomic practices will I need to put in place for me to be able to achieve that yield. So for instance, if you are into cassava, a yield that will make sense for you is 25, 20, above 20. Let me just say that, above 20 tons per hectare. If you make 15, you are just going to live by, but 20 and above will really be good. So for different value chains, for different commodities, there are different yield levels that will make sense and will give you profit. And then now, that's the second thing. The third thing is also, how can you formalize yourself as an agribusiness partner? How can you either register a small company and also have documentations, and also have opportunities for you to record keeping, and as well open a bank account and ensure that you have track record in your banking record. This is to be able to prepare you to be investment ready. So investment readiness, of course, it's at different levels. At a small scale level, all that you require is to have a bank account, make sure you have good documentation, and make sure you have good practices on your farm. But by the time you begin to scale little by little, then you might need to bring in good structure, like having a board, having managed structure, having your policies in place. Why I'm saying this is that when you are going to be looking for the refunding that you need to scale your farm, and you want to talk to financiers, you want to talk to investors, you want to talk to banks, they will be asking for your investment records. They will be asking for your track record. They want to see how much has passed through your account from that farm. So if you're asking for 5 million naira, for instance, they want to see what investments you have put in and what returns have entered and how your finances have been within some period of time that will qualify you to be able to scale to the level of the loan you are looking for. So investment readiness is very, very important. And even when other organizations, like my organization, for instance, that were interested in working with SMEs that are in different value chain, and we support them and help them to be market ready and also be investment ready. If we are coming to work with you, there are a lot of documentations we want to see that you have put in place. Of course, we are not operating at very small level. I must let you know, we are operating at a high level. But even there are so many SMEs in agribusiness today that don't even have, records. They don't have good management system. They don't have good policy in place within their organization, and it will be difficult. And that's one of the reasons why banks are not lending into agriculture. So for you to be able to leverage opportunities that exist in development organizations, international organizations that are willing to come and support you and give you small grants to be able to expand and scale, then you must have demonstrated, some capacity, which of course are evident in your records, which are evident in your report, which are evident in your practices that they come to see. So that's the third one. The fourth one is for you to be able to leverage these opportunities. I also want you to begin to look at climate resilient practices. Many of the funding that are available in the market today are having, ticking their boxes to ensure that they meet some, climate resilient, indicators. So, for instance, you might need to consider regenerative agricultural practices. You might need to consider, maybe having some agroforestry practices. You might need to consider planting some cover crops or mixing your, ensuring that you have maybe some leguminous, crops on your farm. It's actually to rejuvenate the soil and to reduce, carbon emission from the ground. So you need to make sure that you are leveraging these opportunities by, looking at your practices, that it is climate resilient. There are some companies, no matter what you produce, if they know that your farm is located in a deforested area, they will not buy from you, because there is something called the EUDR now, even though it's not that very rampant in many of the food crops and also not so strong in Nigeria. But there are international companies that you will not be able to sell to. You won't be able to operate if they do not see your climate, resilient practices. Finally, I would like to, encourage, my guys and my ladies that are there, that look beyond farming. Farming is good. Farming is excellent. That's what we need. We need more production in Nigeria today. And I must tell you, farming is great. But if you really want to do agribusiness, then can you look at a value chain approach? Can you look at other activities within the value chain where you can actually operate? Yes, you can start with farming, but you need to begin to now look at other activities within the value chain. Let me give you an example. You start a production farm, which is excellent. You are going to make money from it. But can you also do logistics, for instance? If you have a truck and you can, move cassava from one point to the other, you might be surprised that what you make might be more than the farmer that produced the cassava. Then can you maybe add value to that cassava? Maybe produce gari and then produce fufu, or even now scale beyond the food crops and go to industrial crops, produce flour, produce starch from the same cassava. Or now even taking the peels and drying it, converting it to cassava peel, which of course is highly in demand now, in livestock industry. So if you look at this value chain approach, and you can even do input provision, if you're able to access funding so that you can become a fertilizer merchant or agro input merchant, it's big. Farming is excellent. We all need to be on the farm. But beyond the farming now, think of other value chain and the opportunities that exist within different value chains that you can really, put yourself into. If you are talking about cashew, for instance, cashew, you can operate in aggregation of cashew. You can operate in aggregation of maize, aggregation of grains. So what do? You work with smallholder farmers, you organize them, they produce for you, then you buy from them, and then you store, and then you sell, or you get opportunity to aggregate commodities, and then you process, and also now take the product to the market yourself. So it's very important that we begin to look beyond just putting the hoe on the ground, which is good, which all of us must do, but also now ensuring that we bring in value addition. Back to that, which is talking of really growing the crops. It's very, very important that I must tell you that in growing the crops now is very profitable, because the prices of commodities are so high now. Cassava, a ton is now close to, in some locations in Nigeria, a ton is close to about 200,000. So if you have an hectare of cassava and you have 20 tons, that's 2 million naira. Let's say in some cases it will be about 150,000. That is 1.5 million. If you have, or is it 3 million? Yes, 3 million. If you have 1 hectares of cassava that give you 20 tons. But let's say your practice is good, you have just 15 tons or 10 tons, you will still make some profit. So I am enjoining us that if you are into farming, ensure your market end is secured before you even start. Know where to sell, know how to sell, and then make sure you know your business case such that you are not just producing like our fathers did. You see how you are going to make profit and the yield that will actually give you that profit. And then thirdly, ensuring that we document our operations and have good records, because that will be a leverage for us to assess commercial funding as well as investment funding, and also the climate activity, climate practices, climate resilient practices that will help us to leverage some opportunities in the development sector that will help us. And finally, look at that value chain approach and see where can you make more, leverage more in terms of profit and also scaling than at the farm level. I think I would like to stop here because of my time. Thank you very much. If there are 1 or 2 questions that could be put in the chat, I may reply, and if not, I believe the gentleman that is there can do justice to every question that you may have. Thank you very much.
Marketing aspect and also looking at the value chain. Does anybody have a question that you want Professor to answer?
And here.
From the animal perspective, any question? Professor is very busy. Okay, Mr. Tahir again. We need to, no, it's good. We need to seize this opportunity to clarify all the doubts in your heart. You don't get to meet with them every day. All right, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, my question is, I like the way you were able to break down your pricing structure for cassava to say an acre can give you this number of tons and this kind of money. Please, can you generate a template of that? Maybe the top 10 things we can grow, like cashew. I see a lot of cashew going out, so that we can now use that to pinpoint where our interest area is. I know it is not, it's an estimate. It's not something we should hold you against to say you promised me this yield and this amount, but just a guideline to say, okay, this size of land should be able to produce this. If you are doing cassava, you are doing cashew, you are doing corn. Thank you, sir.
Prof, is the question clear?
Well, I think it's, if I can understand the question, it's about providing more information on the business case for different products like cassava, maize, and all that. There is something we call economics of production, or what we call cost of production. It is based on 1 hectare of land, and then you can estimate for the number of acreage that you may want to do. What I could do over time, praying that I will have time or can ask someone to help me develop it, is to look at the economic of production for different commodities, cassava, maize, and all that, and I can share with the church, and I think it can be also be shared with you guys. Yeah.
Person sign up for the one year mentorship, and that will require that for the next 1 year, periodically they will come and ask questions and receive guidance. So we'll be drawing on your wealth of experience to be able to help them navigate that journey for the next 1 year. Just say, let me drop it here, and thank you for your time. I hope you'll be able to create time for us to once in a while provide guidance as they journey through this agro-business in the next 1 year.
Yes, thank you. No problem. In the event, I don't have the time. I have people I can also link, and organizations or companies that I could also, talk to provide some insights. So I have people that can come in and be of help. Thank you.
Things. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together for Professor Eniola Fagbusoro? I'll talk to you after now. Thank you, sir. Okay, so are we learning something today? Are we gaining insight? So it's not just about I'm a farmer or farming. So normally, if you're going to have meet Dr. Joseph one-on-one for mentorship, he's going to charge you 35,000 naira for 3 months, right? But this mentorship we are giving you is going to be for 1 year, and you just sign up for it. If you want to sign up for it, the form is available, and it's just going to cost you a token of 20,000 naira for 1 year. But if you're meeting with Joseph, it's 35,000 for 3 months. We are not even talking about if you are meeting Professor, all right? But the good thing is that we will have access to Dr. Joseph, Professor. We have access to Professor. We have access to his network and the organization they work with, right? Because it's non-profit, and our goal is to bring about livelihood empowerment. That is why it's coming in this direction. But if we were to be for profit, first of all, this seminar will first of all cost you nothing less than 30,000. Then sign up is a different ball game. But what are we doing with it? Even the proceed is going to use to help us render our child protection services for orphans and vulnerable children. All right, that's what you are signing up for. It's not because we are making profit, but we are using it to address the issue of street-connected children. We are using it to address the issue of, like I said, today is World Day Against Child Labor. A lot of the street-connected children happen to be forced into the street due to child labor. So we are using this conference this morning to respond to the issue of child labor by ensuring that we deal with the issue of poverty through livelihood empowerment. Having said that, we're going to receive Dr. Joseph again, and he's going to walk us through another part. Some of you, some of your questions has not been touched. You want to say, I want to practice farming. I want to practice, some of you are into fishery. Some of you, those aspects has not been touched. They have always been talking about the business aspect. So Dr. Joseph is going to walk us through all that. And as we come to what's that? There's a question. Okay, so write your question on paper. And if you need to sign up, also indicate why we do all that, because we are entering the last lap of this conversation. All right? Okay, Dr. Joseph, you heard what Professor said. Okay, there's another mic. You heard what Professor said. He touched the marketing aspect. And while I was with you at the back, I talked about marketing, I talked about processing, and other aspects of value chain. All right? So, but you can still touch practical farming for those who are into animal farming, plant farming. You can still touch all those. Yeah. But processing, and even processing and packaging goes together,
yes,
right?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
If you have a question, please indicate. Write it, just indicate. We'll take that as it goes.
Okay, before we continue, how many of us have eaten this morning? before coming. I want to know now. You don't know whether I want to share food now. Please. If you have eaten, raise your hand. Okay, if you have not eaten, you didn't take anything. Oh, wow. People have tried, though. Let me check the time. Oh, wow, 12. Oh, you have tried. Let's put our hands together for those that have not eaten. Please. Me never chop too. I go my day chew, not be food. So I'm not giving you any food. I just want to encourage you. Yes, you have sacrificed. So I want to appreciate us for coming. Okay, we have two questions. But before we go into the question, because by the time I start talking now, you may even have to ask me to stop. So let's just do a little, let's warm our share. Or is that our share that we should warm now? Let's just stand up and shake our body a little. I was supposed to do aerobic, but I don't want to. This one are farm. Those of us who already they do farm work. Let's just stand up. Just stretch. Just, if you want to shake somewhere, you can shake. If you want to network, you can network. But once we say, come back, more not find you. That's why I'm not saying you should take a break. No, it's not break. We're not taking break. Yeah. If you are okay, if you know that like this now, you are okay, you can sit down. So you can sit down. If you are okay, just have your seat. Let's take the questions and continue. All right, please, the questions. While they are bringing the question, Prof talked about marketing. It's a major issue. I will talk about it. I've already said a lot of things about it, but I will talk about it. It's a full course. Then he talked about record keeping. I talked about standardizing your business and climate. All those are actually my slide, but okay, please, let's take the questions.
Okay, there's a question from Mr. Trescaros.
Oh.
Do you agree that in agriculture, the further you are from the farm, the more money you make?
Okay.
The second question, talking about fertility of land, are there ways to know which land is fertile for us to buy? Or there are experts that will do that?
Okay. Let me answer the second question first. Yes, you do soil analysis. There's one woman that wanted to ask me a question on cucumber. Please, you still ask that question because I need to use to stretch farming. We do soil fertility test or soil analysis. You take the sample of the soil, you take it to the lab, they test it. But because you are just buying a land and your goal is to build a house, it will be strange for you to say you want to do soil fertility test. But having said this is a very intelligent question, and this should encourage those of us going to buy land to punish us, not to grow, right? As you are going to buy land, assuming a professional with experience is going with you, the person can easily tell that the land is fertile or not, actually. By looking at it, I can tell whether the land is fertile. The only thing I may not be able to tell you categorically is to say that this is the crop that will do well. I can tell you at least a range of crops that will do well in that land. But I may not be able to tell you technically that this crop will do like this, right? So the good thing for you now is that next time you are going to buy land, you can now think of another use for that land before you build the house or build the warehouse or whatever you want to build there. So you can take a soil fertility test. Now, the second question is subjective. To say that the farther you move away from production or farming, the more money you make. Okay, let me explain this. It's a very technical question, but I don't want to give us. Now, look at it. Let's follow this. If you follow this, you have followed the part of my slide. We have explained agribusiness, and we said it's not farming alone. It's all the value chain. And Prof also mentioned value chain. So before we left, I talked about input supply. The next thing you're supposed to see there is farming. So if they go back to my slide, maybe you should go back to my slide, put that value chain there. Now, farming, you can write this down because this will help you, because I won't be able to do everything, but I'm trying to bring out the business from each of the value chain. I've talked about input supply. You can make money from it, whether you have money to invest or you don't have money. So nobody should come and say, oh, I like this. I enjoyed your teaching. I don't have money. That's my problem. You have money. I've already told you now. how you can raise your money. Now, the next thing is production, which is farming. Now, leave the slide. Normally, I've said this before, and I will say it, and I'm trying to be very, very careful because this a multitude. The farther you go away from farming, the lesser risk you incur. Take note of that. This is farming. Let's go down and say this is processing, for instance. Processing, packaging, value addition, everything. The farther you go away from farming, the lesser the risk. What it means is that majority of the risk in agriculture is locked up in primary production, which is farming. It's locked up there. I've used consulting input supply to explain that. I told you that a farmer that took 6 months to raise beds to sell the eggs at 3,800, for instance, and the retailer that is selling the crate of egg to you to buy is selling at 4.5 for those in GRA. For those outskirts, probably you get it at 4.3, 4.2, depending on the size. Oh. There are some that are like guinea fowl size. You can buy that one less than 4,000, but I'm not. Now, you that had mortality, that paid workers, that talked about a fuel to pump water, to provide light, you built a structure, everything and all the risk, because if your birds die, you have lost that money. If we're talking about poultry, maybe those that will sign up for the mentorship, I will really break all these values. I will break all the farming and everything. I will break them down for you. Now, the risk you incurred for the whole of that 6 months, that you could not sleep because you have beds. This auntie, I don't know, maybe you were sleeping. When I started, the first day-old chicks that I raised in my life, that was even before I even entered university. Because when I tell people that I actually applied for animal science, they don't believe me. Even my parents don't believe, so I will expect I applied for it. Now, you incurred all those risks, and someone walked up to you to buy 1 crate of egg from maybe Airport Road, those Airport Road village, and brought it to GRA and sold it in 1 day. The only risk the person incurred was transportation, which is logistics. Prof mentioned it. It's a business. It's here. Logistics and distribution is a business. That's what the person incurred, but the person made more profit than you. Hope you know. So that's where the question asks, that's where it is actually correct, that the farther you go away from farming, the more money you make. I can actually break that down. By the time you carry that egg now, you take it to, I know ShopRite, sorry. They used to buy their own at lower price, but if you go to Spar and other ones, they are buying from you at a higher price. What did you do to the egg? What is different from the egg that you are buying from Ring Road, Urban Market, and the one you are buying at something square? What's the difference? Please, I want you to say that again. Did you buy any machine to package the egg? Air conditioner, you bought AC. You didn't buy AC when you were packaging it. It's the person, the one that owns the square, that has AC inside. Abi? But you that supplied it, you supplied it at package egg. All you did, mass, is to clean the egg, put them inside crates. If you are able to good, then you put label. But most times you can supply without label, they will put their label. That's all you did. And that's what we call value addition. That has removed you from where? From farming, removed you from the middleman or aggregator, and it has dropped you where? At the processor level. So you are now an egg processor. And all you did was to clean the egg, put them inside crates. And if you are doing this very well, you will make more money than the farmer. You are not under the rain or under the sun. No farmer, no country, no nation, no farmer. You are not doing that one. You are just in your house. The same thing when I was discussing input supply as a business. You are here now. So I'm here now. I got some calls when I was. They want to buy inputs. I don't have a store. I don't have a warehouse. But I can supply anything you want as far as agriculture is concerned as I'm standing here now. Are we understanding the logic? It's agribusiness. So the person that is here, you must start with land. Whether it's your backyard, you are doing it. That backyard, is it air? It's not air, it's land. It's land. It's someone's land if it's not your own. Like, we do, okay, I'm still online. Okay, no. You want to do farm. You want to cut it. You want to grow something in your house, your compound. And we come there to grow it, to set it up for you, and you are growing. It's land. It requires someone paid for that land. The same thing. If you want to do poultry, you want to do goat, you want to do snake, anyone, cassava, you need land. You need to pay for something for it to happen. But for this processing, I went to consult for someone. In fact, if you go to Lagos, that's where you actually understand. You know, because we have land, we have space here. Your house now, your 2-bedroom, the parlor is like warehouse. Right? We don't really understand the value of space. That's why some of us, we have all those space, we are wasting it. Instead of one room inside the 2-bedroom is visitor's room. Those that have 3 bedrooms, maybe 2 rooms are actually wasted. And if you go to your neighbor in Lagos, a full company is not up to that your parlor, that your sitting room. A full company, and that company, if you see their revenue, you see revenue. Hey, God. Do you understand? So that processing, I've gone to consult for people. You say, I have a factory. We get to their, sir, where is your, the direct eventually. Please, I wish we can stop the online so that I can really talk about some things. We have been so different, And you get there. Where is the factory? You've entered visitor's room, right? And they give you a chair, like you sit down in the sitting room, and they say, okay, they take care of you. And from there, you pass corridor, you are inside the factory. And they are making money. Is it that seeing it as your house is house? It's the room that you left there. It's enough to process anything you want to process. And even send abroad. Please pause the online. Let me say something. Pause the online. Now, let me